So who wants swag? What I mean is, for those of you who've emailed who want the tax rep mug, the tax rep travel Yeti mug, the tax rep t-shirt, we love tax problems. If you're interested in getting some tax rep swag, you can't buy it. There's no store. We don't sell it. Here's what you do. In iTunes or Apple Podcasts, subscribe to the podcast, give us a 5-star review, take a screenshot of that and email it to us at hello@taxrepllc.com. hello@taxrepllc.com. Send it to us along with your address, and if you want the t-shirt, your t-shirt size, and we will send you out a piece of swag. Our pleasure. Okay, enjoy it. It's great stuff. All right. So again, if you want some swag, go out, subscribe to the podcast. I know in Apple and iTunes, you can actually give us a review, give us a 5-star review, email us a screenshot of that with your address and what piece of swag you want, and we will get it out to you, no problem. All right. Now, if you want to talk about building your practice, okay, and we're going to get real busy in 2021, so there's never been a better time. All right, join Tax Rep LLC. All right, join Tax Rep LLC, and trust me, we can help you build your practice, add an extra $100,000 to your bottom line, and get you involved in really representing taxpayers. Okay, so taxrepllc.com. Go out, sign up. We'll see you inside Tax Rep. Now, what do we use in our practice? All right. The only two sponsors we have of the podcast are the two pieces of software / vendors that we use for tax resolution. Tax Help software, okay, which is the cornerstone of our practice. Everything from transcripts to intelligent ordering overnight to actually doing our offers and all of our resolution forms. All right. So if you're interested, go to taxhelpsoftware.com. There are 2 discount codes we've arranged for you. All right. Tax Rep Trial, all caps, one word, will get you a 2-week free trial. Tax Rep 10, Tax Rep 10, all caps, one word, will get you 10% off. Go check it out. It is what we use day in and day out. All right. It's what we think is the best. That's why we use it. And it's the only sponsor we have because it's the only software that we use. Now, built into Tax Help software or as a standalone program is ENQ. And that is how we call the government and get in under 3 minutes. All right. And we've arranged for a special discount for our Tax Rep members and listeners. All right. I'll put the link in the description below. You can click on that link, go. You get 200 minutes for $19.95. It will change the way you practice. You can literally call the IRS, get to a human being in under 3 minutes, usually within 30 seconds. All right. So check out ENQ at the link below. Thanks for listening, guys, and enjoy this week's program. Hey guys, it's Eric, and in this week's podcast, I actually wanted to address a lot of the comments we're getting about the podcast number 91, which is, Darren Guillot, our Deputy Commissioner for Small Business Self-Employed Division, joined us and talked about enforcement in 2021. What can we expect? And he talked about how criminal cases coming over from collection are up 42% already in the first quarter, and got into the discussion of artificial intelligence. And what they're doing is, now that they have all the information from Coinbase on virtual currency, remember the IRS did a John Doe summons on Coinbase where they got all of the taxpayers that held Bitcoin. They now have that database. They have the foreign asset information from the FATCA treaties and everything that came over the last, say, 10 years. What they're doing is they're taking those databases and with artificial intelligence, looking through all of the offers and compromise that have been filed for the last 2 years, all of the 433s where people have argued to be uncollectible, and also the bankruptcy schedules from taxpayers who filed for bankruptcy, listing the IRS as a creditor, to see if those people failed to disclose virtual currency or foreign assets. Those are the people who are now being referred over to criminal. So what is the impact of this? And so a lot of you have been emailing me, can we not do offers? Of course you can do offers. Here's the deal. The clients that have been lying, filing false financials are going to get caught if they have virtual currency, if they have any foreign assets. And, quite frankly, the IRS also gets the homeowners policies, and we'll see the riders. So what is the impact? The impact, I think, is on our practices. We need to be much more diligent about getting the information from taxpayers, right? I had a client who failed to disclose a very valuable collection. All right, I won't go into it because you could then, do a search and you'll find out who it is. But pled guilty for that. And here's the thing: at one point, that taxpayer attempted to blame us. I gave you the information, and despite knowing better, I, on a Friday night at like 9 p.m., after hearing that, ran back to the office, pulled the file, and went through it. And no, he did not disclose it. Okay. It was not in any of the notes. It wasn't in the scratched 433 he sent us. When we sent it to him and he reviewed it and said it was accurate and signed it, he never brought it up. All right. However, we have two issues. One is to protect the taxpayer from themselves, and two, to protect ourselves. So what we've done now, for those of you who are tax rep members, inside tax rep, in the checklist and downloads, all of our forms and our templates are there. We have the one that we send out to clients saying, here's all the documents we need, right? For 433, whether we're doing an offer in compromise, uncollectible, whatever. Well, what we have done now is added to that foreign assets and virtual currency, and also under the homeowner, for the housing, right? We, not just under housing. The last question is usually, do you have any collectibles, whatever else? We are now asking for a copy of the homeowners policies with the riders. Partially, this is to protect the client from themselves. Right? We want to make sure that they're aware that this has got to be disclosed, but it's also to protect ourselves. Because just like tax preparers, when special agents show up at that client's front door and knock at the front door, the first knee jerk is going to be to blame you. So one, make sure you have added that to the list of documents you're sending. If you're a tax rep member, it's already there, right? We've already done it. However, what we're also working on at our firm is we're automating this. There is going to be a massive wave of work when the IRS finally drops the hammer again on taxpayers. Okay, now when is that going to happen? I'll get into that in a moment. I'm betting late summer. It could be a little bit earlier, but more. It could be the fall. But I'm banking around end of July, August. Okay, the government is going to start enforcing. We are going to get crazy. We're already busy. We're going to get crazier. And again, I'll get into why, but we're going to. Now is the time to be automating everything that you can automate. It's what we're doing. All right. We are in our CRM, which is our, is a CRM is a client relations management system. We are automating our templates. The point is, on those items, I'm going to have the client submit everything electronically, so they will get it electronically, click on the link, and they'll answer all of those questions and upload their documents. Those answers are going to be yes, no. The client is going to have to affirmatively give us an answer on virtual currency, foreign assets, and any collections. Artwork, jewelry, any of that stuff. All right. And the reason being is that will be your get out of jail card free if later special agents want to talk to you about your client's 433. All right. So, but even beyond that, just to manage the inventory, you want to be doing everything you can. All right. The other thing is you're going to, after tax season, you're going to want to really ramp up your marketing because the hammer is going to fall. And let me explain. So before Darren came on, I'm texting with him over the weekend, just confirming the podcast, whatever. And I said, so Darren, when's the hammer going to fall? Now, when I say that, what I mean is the government right now really isn't enforcing. Revenue officers in the field are doing some. But there's going to be a massive wave of final notices and levies that are going to go out to several million taxpayers who owe for 19 and or 20 and are not paying. The reason they're not doing it now is the government cannot levy stimulus money. So right now we have the second round of stimulus that's sort of wrapping up. It certainly looks like President Biden is going to be signing on to a third round of stimulus, right? They're saying they're going to have the bill on his desk by March 15th. So you got to figure end of March, April, May, that's going to be going on. And let's assume that that's all wrapped up by June. Final notices of intent to levy have to go out. That gives the client 30 days. Normally ACS will wait 45 days. So now already you're basically through June into the mid to late July. That's the soonest I think you're going to see millions of levies go out. And I think there's going to be a week. It might be August. It could be September, maybe July if they really speed it up, where millions of people are going to get their bank accounts levied and their wages garnished. They're going to be online freaking out, calling. One, you want to ramp up your marketing, right? We're putting all kinds of new material inside Tax Rep on state and local topics now, blogging topics, and new sample newsletters and non-filer topics, all right? Ramp up your marketing through the spring into the summer and figure out a way you're going to manage the inflow of work. This is what's going on right now at our firm at Green and Sklar's, all right? And this is what we're talking about with our tax rep members, all right? Now, as we're automating, we're mapping our workflows. Those are all getting posted up inside tax rep, okay? So if you're a tax rep member, you can go download that stuff and at least see what we're doing, all right? And you can, you may not like what we're doing. You could play with what we're doing, change it, tweak it, do whatever you want. If you're not a tax rep member, you got to start thinking this stuff through and doing this yourself, right? But you're going to want to figure out how to do this, because what I'm most fearful of is not so much the work. There's going to be a ton of it. It's not getting paid. We get our money up front. In fact, 2020 was a good year. 2021 is going to be a great year. It's already shaping up to be a great year. It's the chaos of managing the inventory that has got us worried, is how we manage and track all of this. What's missing, what's not missing, what's outstanding, all of that. Powers of attorney, did they get faxed to CAF? So we're working with our folks and our IT folks, and we're automating through our CRM as much of this as we can automate, right? It's been a long time coming. We've spoken about it, but we're doing it now. All right, I highly recommend you consider the same. All right, so to summarize, we need to be careful. I mean, if you listen to Darren carefully, what the message I think is we need to be careful when we're doing this, because collection cases do go criminal. Most people think of criminal coming out of audit. That's not the case. Offers uncollectible, the false 433 that fails to disclose assets. Those cases go criminal, okay? And in fact, they're almost worse criminal cases because they usually come in under evasion of payment. And in an evasion of payment case, you not only have the tax loss, but penalty and interest is included in the tax loss, right? None of the other crimes include penalty and interest except for evasion of payment. Evasion of payment or evasion of collection includes penalty and interest. So the tax loss number is even bigger. All right. So one is we got to be leery of that. We have to make sure that we ask these questions. But on top of that, given what I think that the incoming tidal wave of work looks like, now after you get past April 15th, this spring, I would suggest you buckle down, do your marketing, and really focus on automating your practice, because I think it's going to be critical to your success managing the inventory and making money doing this. All right. So listen, short podcast this week. I've got a very cool guest coming on next week, which I'm very excited about. We've been going back and forth. We're working on the questions, and I think you're going to really enjoy it. So anyway, enjoy that. Everyone stay safe and be healthy. All right. And talk to you next week. Bye-bye.